Hi there, Steve Stine again. What I'd like to do now is I'd like to talk to you a little bit about some advanced strumming ideas, okay? The first thing I want to talk about is trying to move from slower strumming to faster strumming. And let me explain to you what I mean. When I used to play along with songs, when I first started learning how to play, one thing that I learned how to do, I showed you in an earlier video, was strumming down. I would scratch to songs and strum downward, kind of figure out where that was, which was great and it worked wonderfully. But one problem that I used to have with it is that when I was learning how to strum to the song, sometimes when I was trying to strum to the actual song, it always seemed like I was going too slow. Like, let's say my song was going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So I go to strum over this and I go, which is perfectly fine. I mean, it's going to work, but it feels really slow. Then I've got my up strums. Now again, to be honest with you, that most songs that are traveling at that speed, that tempo, probably aren't strumming like that, although we could strum there and it would sound just fine. Here's what has to happen. If you know anything about music theory, what I'm doing right now when I'm strumming is I'm really pretty much moving from quarter notes to eighth notes, which means, here's what you have to understand about whole notes, half notes, quarter notes, eighth notes, the whole thing. What's happening every time is you're just going twice as fast as the last one. So if you have whole notes and you move to half notes are twice as fast as whole notes. Quarter notes are twice as fast as half notes. So the basic premise of music in terms of rhythm, and again, I know it gets more complicated in this, I'm just trying to keep it nice and easy right now, is that all you're ever doing is going twice as fast as the last thing. So here's what I want you to understand, really important. If I took my song and I was playing, and then I add my ups, notice when I add my ups, I'm going twice as fast. If I just do these, those are quarters, and if I do this, now I'm doing eighth notes. But let's say that eighth note feel is still just too slow, it just feels really strange. Here's what you can do. You can take all of those strums, the downs and the ups, which are the eighth notes, that's what we're calling this. You can take all of those and start putting them all on down strums. So instead of going down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, we're going to do the same speed, but we're going to put them all on downs like this. Now, we can skip some. If we want it to be slower, we can go like this. See, I still move my arm, you notice that? But now I'm getting those slower ones. But the cool thing about this is now that I've moved it to downs, see, now I have this whole new palette of strums that I can do, where when I was playing quarter note to eighth note, those didn't even exist because I was moving at this speed. So when I move down to the double speed, that I'm going twice as fast here, now all of a sudden I can recreate the slow one by skipping every other one. I can create the eighth notes by strumming all the downs, but now I can create 16th notes by strumming the ups in between those. So that's what's really nice about going the double speed. Now, needless to say, it requires more technique. You have to be able to strum faster. You got to develop these muscles a little bit more flexibility and looseness in your arm. Okay? Remember, when you're strumming, you don't have to strum, this big. Okay? As you strum faster, chances are you're going to strum smaller. See? So, the next thing to do is to start trying to explore some of the songs that you've been doing previously, or new songs, whatever, and start thinking about whether or not you think the feel of the guitar part, the feel of the strum, again, always remember, there are times when you're listening to a song where you're going to hear an actual strumming pattern, and then you can replicate that as best you can. But sometimes when you listen to a song, you're not really hearing a particular strumming pattern, you're just listening to the song. For instance, if you were going to do Firework by Katy Perry or something like that, there's really not a lot of guitar stuff going on in there. So you have to decide when you're listening to the song, what does the song feel like? What does the vibe of the song feel like? Does it feel like it should be going down, 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 up, down? Or does it feel like it should be going down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down? You see? Now, remember, neither one is wrong. It's just sometimes one is more right than the other one, depending on the feel of the song. So again, this whole rhythm concept is something that you should take your time with and you should practice on a daily basis. What I find with a lot of students when they first start taking guitar lessons is that they spend a lot of time with their left hand developing chords and things like that, but they really don't spend a lot of time with their right hand really understanding how rhythm and strumming and all that stuff really works. And the truth is that your right hand is the one that everybody hears. Your left hand doesn't, your audience doesn't hear your left hand unless your right hand actually strums the strings. So in the manner in which you're strumming is really important, okay? So let's start kind of messing with that a little bit and see what you can do.